ButterBean possesses an imposing frame of 300 pounds, brimming with pure power. Known for his devastating knockouts in both MMA, kickboxing, and boxing, he has left a trail of destruction in the ring. Today, we will show you a compilation of his top 10 knockouts in the world of boxing. Is he as good as they say? Join us to find out. ButterBean vs. Peter McNeely. Peter McNeely was an infamous boxer who dared to face Mike Tyson after his release from prison, and he became known for being knocked out in the first round.
And McNeely, as advertised, comes right at Mike Tyson. Now McNeely, seconds in.
Mills lanes and stopped that nonsense because it was starting to butt heads. Oh.
Tyson with a left hook, a right up, and down goes McNeely again.
Steve. That night, he took another risk. When the bell rings, ButterBean wastes no time and immediately goes head-to-head with McNeely, turning the fight into a strategic battle where each seeks their rhythm.
Which makes him even that much more likable. Oh, he missed with the right, fires away with a couple of left hooks.
Just seconds before the round ends, the referee stops the fight after witnessing a great exchange of blows, declaring ButterBean the winner. ButterBean vs. Doug Norris. Despite his surname, Doug Norris has no relation to Chuck Norris. However, unlike ButterBean, he possessed an impressive physique, exemplifying commitment to a strict diet and extensive muscular mass. Norris's punches kept ButterBean at bay, and he was struggling to land his own. He probably lost the round, but he remained resilient. Filled with courage, Norris enters the second round only to be caught with a devastating blow. It's a final move that leaves him immobile, proving ButterBean's superiority over bodybuilding.
But then he'll get popped. They clashed heads, and that's what hurt Doug Norris. I was joking, but that was the problem. Well, it's wild now, folks, and there goes Doug Norris.
ButterBean vs. Paul Springer. After defeating Norris, ButterBean sets his sights on celebrating his 10-year anniversary in the ring with a fight against his twin brother, Paul Springer. Springer had the habit of sending explicit photos to young girls under his brother's name, causing him trouble. It was time to put an end to the madness. Paul tries to use his weight against Eric, but just 47 seconds into the first round, he is knocked unconscious to the floor. The fight concludes with two powerful hooks that perfectly land while entering the clinch.
Мускулистый. Ну вот. На этом все и кончилось.
ButterBean vs. Pat Jackson. Pat Jackson was a 6 feet 5 inches opponent who presented a formidable challenge for ButterBean with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. Though his size made it difficult for Eric to target his head, it favored him in redirecting punches to Jackson's body. By the third round, Pat was exhausted but fought hard to avoid Eric's blows. Just as the round ends, ButterBean throws a powerful punch that accidentally lands on the referee's face, knocking him out.
At the end of the round, he's separating the fighters. And right to stop, not because Terry Wood.
Seeing the opponent's power, Jackson decides not to continue the fight, granting ButterBean another victory. ButterBean vs. Monaco. Monaco was another bodybuilder with an attractive appearance, seeking to test his skills against the living legend, ButterBean. From the beginning, Eric knocked Lewis to the ground, appearing to stumble, but in reality, a devastating hook caused the fall. Despite getting up, Lewis ends up on the canvas moments later due to Eric's impeccable attack.
To the ButterBean, he lands a good right hand. Oh, there goes Monaco. Second knockdown.
Finally, Eric delivers a powerful overhand that results in the third and final knockdown of the round, ending the fight. ButterBean vs. Billy Eaton 2. By then, Eric had already won the world champion title in the super heavyweight division and was determined to settle his unfinished business by facing Billy Eaton once again. Their previous encounter had ended in a draw, with Billy being the first fighter to represent a real threat to Eric in the ring. At the beginning of their second match, Billy leads with his strong left. Although the fight seems to favor Eaton in the eyes of the judges, Eric remains steadfast, knowing that a well-placed punch can decide the outcome. Eric connects a couple of punches that aren't strong enough to finish the fight. However, in the third round, Billy uses the ropes in the style of Muhammad Ali. Eric keeps his composure, delivering the necessary blows to end the fight prematurely, successfully defending his title, even though it cost his opponent's well-being. To his greater satisfaction, he achieves his goal by knocking out Billy with powerful blows.
Hook right to the chin and came back with a right hand.
ButterBean versus George Lindberger. In 2000, ButterBean faced one of his most challenging opponents to date, George Lindberger, known as the Terminator. George appeared to many as a leader of the Albanian mafia. Although the reality was different, they both shared a passion for putting opponents to sleep, which kept the expectation high for this clash of powerful fighters. The fight begins, and in a matter of seconds, the gang leader has been knocked out. A determined ButterBean sends a clear message in the ring: others' expectations are not his concern. With a precise punch, he swiftly ends the fight within about 19 seconds of starting it. ButterBean versus Rodney Phillips. In 2004, ButterBean was still being paid to hit people in the face. Rodney Phillips became his next target, with a record of 7 wins and 16 losses. At first glance, it seemed he was destined to be another prey for Eric. But it wasn't until he stepped into the ring that he realized the magnitude of the decision he had made. ButterBean gave him a masterful demonstration of why people usually fear getting close to him. ButterBean versus Ed White. Ed White, with an impressive height of 6 feet 6 inches, becomes ButterBean's next opponent. At the beginning of the fight, ButterBean unleashes a flurry of punches, and shortly after, he struggles to find his rhythm. As the fight progresses, ButterBean is seen trying to finish Ed with his left hooks. Eventually, he succeeds with a combination of blows. ButterBean versus Bart Gunn. During the peak of wrestling's popularity, WrestleMania organizers attempted to incorporate real fights into their show, resulting in genuine boxing matches. Bart Gunn, a professional wrestler, had the misfortune of facing ButterBean, only to receive a welcoming punch as soon as the fight began. Although he managed to get up from the floor once, it took Eric only 5 seconds to put him down again. This encounter served as a harsh reminder for the professional wrestler not to mess with the wrong man.
27 seconds left. There's the right hand, folks. It's over. Goodbye.
There's no doubt that ButterBean has provided us with some of the best moments in boxing.